Greatness isn't always measured by longevity. In the NFL, some players burn bright and fast, leaving a lasting impact in just a few seasons.
They expect us to whoop their Let's not disappoint them, dog.
Whether cut short by injury, early retirement, or personal choice, these athletes didn't need decades to make their mark.
They'll never catch him!
Oh, what a shot! And he will take it all the way!
We're diving into the best short careers in NFL history.
And here's Bo Jackson around the corner and down the sideline, and there he goes!
Well, that man has hit some long home runs in baseball. He's just hit the longest run in Raider history.
Bo knows how to find the end zone. The story of Bo Jackson seems to be common knowledge at this point, but the list of best short careers would be incomplete without him.
A part-time player with the Raiders, his combination of size, speed, and strength is matched only by the greatest athletes in the history of pro sports.
A home run threat from anywhere on the field.
And off to Bo, off the left side, gets to the outside, first down, they'll never catch him! Bo Jackson, holy Toledo, 90 yards!
Jackson's unworldly talent even pushed Hall of Famer Marcus Allen to fullback. The two split carries from 1987 to 1990. Sadly, a devastating hip injury in the playoffs ended Jackson's career after less than 40 games.
One man to beat, and from behind, Kevin Walker saves another touchdown.
Bo Jackson shaken up a bit, has not gotten to his feet as yet.
But his legacy on the gridiron lives on. Even decades later, we still can't get enough of Bo's highlight reel.
Well, we begin with a stunner. Colts quarterback Andrew Luck announced his retirement Saturday at the age of 29.
It certainly isn't how I envisioned this or planned this, but I am going to retire.
The news came as a shock to football fans across the world. The greatest draft prospect of the 21st century was calling it quits at the age of 29.
There he is. And he got to the end zone on his stretch.
Final seconds. Luck steps. Luck, a little flip. Donnie Avery, he's in. Touchdown.
Andrew Luck's talent and potential was so great it got the Colts to release Peyton Manning. Projected to be the next Hall of Fame Colt signal caller, his impact was felt right away. Indy went from 2-14 in 2011 to a playoff berth in Luck's rookie campaign. He led the team to 3 straight playoff appearances and put together an all-time comeback in the 2013 wild card.
They give it to him again, and he fumbles the ball, and Luck is there to pick it up and go over the goal line. Talk about luck. And here's Luck and the Colts from their own 36. Steps up. Long look, and he's got Hilton for the touchdown.
Despite lofty expectations, Luck was an elite franchise quarterback through 3 years, with 2014 being his best season. His 40 passing touchdowns was tops in the league and took the team to its first AFC championship since the Sheriff was in town.
Fires it to the end zone. He's got the touchdown to Nix.
Unfortunately, shoulder injuries caught up and derailed a career that was poised to end with a gold jacket. He missed the entire 2017 season, and despite bouncing back with a Pro Bowl selection in 2018, Luck's health issues were enough to announce his pro football retirement before the age of 30.
Pressure on Goff, he dumps to Gurley. The blitz was on, and Todd Gurley is roaming through the middle of the field. Touchdown, Los Angeles Rams!
Two-time All-Pro, 2017 Offensive Player of the Year, MVP runner-up, out of the league by 27. Todd Gurley put together one of the most dominant primes for a running back in recent memory, yet longevity eluded him during his 6-year stint.
Todd Gurley back in the game, and here's what the Rams wanted from him. Todd Gurley. Touchdown.
Gurley gained 1,100 yards in his debut season, good enough for Rookie of the Year honors. He soon became a fantasy cheat code, scoring 40 combined touchdowns in 2017 and 2018 with an up-and-coming Rams team.
And now on first down, Goff looking to Gurley. And he will leapfrog a defender, and that is a touchdown! Oh my goodness for Gurley!
Wear and tear began to creep in late in 2018. Battling a nagging knee injury, Gurley rushed for 45 combined yards in the NFC Championship and Super Bowl 53.
Former NFL Offensive Player of the Year, Todd Gurley, cut by the Rams.
By 2019, the Rams had moved on and Gurley spent his final season in Atlanta. Nowhere near his best, the back still scored 23 total touchdowns in his final 2 seasons with both teams. But the injuries he suffered in college and later in LA had caught up. The severe arthritis caused Gurley to play his last season before the age of 27. On his way to a first-ballot Hall of Fame career, it would take over 30 years for Sterling Sharpe to join his brother in Canton. Green Bay's top receiving weapon of the 1990s put up video game numbers in his brief 7-year career.
And the ball goes into the hands of the most dangerous guy on the field, Sterling Sharpe. Touchdown number 4 for Sterling Sharpe.
From 1989 to 1994, Sharpe made 5 out of 6 possible Pro Bowls, including being named an All-Pro 3 times. He was at his peak in 1992, winning the receiving Triple Crown with 108 catches, 13 touchdowns, and over 1,400 yards. His 64 receiving touchdowns over the span of his career were second in the league only to Jerry Rice.
He's going to throw it to the end zone.
He's open.
Yes, Sharpe.
Wide open.
Touchdown. Sterling Sharpe.
Wide open.
He got away.
Sadly, a neck injury ended his career after only 7 seasons. Though his time was brief, Sharpe's dominance left a lasting impression. Over a prolonged career, his name would have been written all over the record books. When you think of great safeties of the 80s, surely Ronnie Lott comes to mind first, but he had some company for a brief period.
Interception, touchdown, Kenny Easley. That's a new National Football League record. 4 touchdowns via the route of interception.
Playing his entire 7-year career with the Seahawks, Kenny Easley was a 5-time Pro Bowler and the 1984 NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Known for his hard-hitting style, excellent instincts, and leadership, he helped redefine the safety position.
Sharpe is back to pass, fires one that's going to be picked off by Easley. He's on his way up the sideline. Might go all the way. They'll never catch him. Goodbye, Cleveland. Touchdown, Seattle.
From 1983 to 1985, no team had more interceptions than the Seahawks. The Hall of Famer had 10 by himself in that dominant '84 campaign, but a severe kidney illness forced him into early retirement in 1987 at the age of 29. Despite his short time in the league, Easley's impact was profound. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2017, cementing his legacy as a defensive great.
Great battle brewing right now between Bruce Smith and Tony Boselli.
Tony Boselli is just doing an excellent job with Bruce Smith.
Tony Boselli had a remarkable, though brief, NFL career that left a lasting impact. Drafted 2nd overall by the Jacksonville Jaguars in 1995, he quickly became one of the league's most dominant offensive tackles. Known for his elite footwork, strength, and technique, Boselli was a 5-time Pro Bowl selection and 3-time All-Pro.
1 game away from playing in the Super Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars have upset Denver 30-27.
He played a key role in the team's early success, including a run to the AFC Championship game in just their 2nd season. Unfortunately, injuries cut his career short after just 7 seasons. Boselli's excellence earned him Hall of Fame induction in 2022, the only player in Jaguars history to be enshrined.
With the 31st pick in the 2013 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Travis Frederick, center, Wisconsin.
Wow, wow, wow. I have a 3rd-round grade on Travis Frederick, and I think it's a little bit of a reach at this point.
Not so fast, Mayock. While not a flashy pick, Dallas hit a home run taking the Wisconsin Badger. Travis Frederick was a day-1 starter for the Cowboys and the anchor on one of the best offensive lines in recent history. He made the Pro Bowl 5 out of 6 years, and the team was top 3 in rushing yards from 2013 to 2017.
Let's focus this time on the center, Travis Frederick. Going to come down, get a shot, help his buddy Zach Martin, then get up on that second level.
His career was interrupted in 2018 by a rare autoimmune disorder. The games he sat out in 2018 were the only ones he missed throughout his entire career. He made a remarkable comeback in 2019, but then retired in 2020 due to health concerns.
Despite special attention by enemy defenses, Metcalf set a new NFL record for combined net yardage.
Marked by explosive versatility and dynamic playmaking, Terry Metcalf's NFL skill set was ahead of its time. Metcalf was a triple threat, excelling as a running back, receiver, and return specialist. In 1974 and 1975, he had back-to-back seasons with over 2,000 all-purpose yards. Metcalf finished in the top 3 in MVP voting both years.
Like a runaway pinball bouncing through defenses, Terry Metcalf terrorized opponents each time he touched the ball.
Listed at 5'10" officially, but more like 5'8" in reality, Metcalf used his diminutive stature and quickness to his advantage. His NFL career lasted only 6 seasons, ending with a short stint in Washington, but his impact was lasting. Metcalf influenced future generations of dual-threat backs and return specialists, including his own son, Eric, who'd go on to become equally as versatile as Pops.
Belted at the 19-yard line. Absolutely crushed by rookie Terrell Davis.
A 6th-round pick in 1995, Terrell Davis was a long way from stardom. The rookie entered training camp behind 5 other backs on the depth chart, but he wasn't overlooked for long, earning the starting job and running for over 1,000 yards as a rookie.
The race is on. Terrell Davis has a length lead, and he extends it into the end zone.
From 1995 to 1998, Davis was the focal point in Mike Shanahan's zone running offense. TD rushed for over 105 yards per game in that span, most in the NFL. John Elway's pursuit of his first career championship became attainable due to the ground attack.
Terrell Davis has just become the first man in Super Bowl history to rush for 3 touchdowns.
Battling migraines in Super Bowl 32, Davis carried the rock 30 times for 157 yards and 3 touchdowns in an upset win, and was awarded Super Bowl MVP in the process. The 98 season was Davis's best, becoming just the 4th player in history to run for over 2,000 yards. He won league MVP, and Denver went back-to-back. The 1999 season came with the retirement of John Elway, and in just the 4th game of the year, a career-altering knee injury for TD.
Terrell Davis got off the ground and began to walk back to the bench after this play on Victor Green.
Davis only played in 13 more games and retired at the age of 29.
This game is based on transcendent players. There's some guys who just stand above. They're not in the same universe with him. All you other guys, you may be NFL players, but you're just clowns. You're just highway cones for this guy to run around.
There may have been no player in this video who was more incredible in less time than Gale Sayers. Despite starting just 65 career games, he's still recognized as one of the greatest playmakers of all time. In his first season, Sayers tallied 22 touchdowns, a rookie record that still stands today.
Sayers, NFL Rookie of the Year, a one-man Gale, dashing 85 dazzling yards on the longest punt return of the season. This is his 6th touchdown of the game.
In his 5 healthy campaigns, the Kansas Comet was an All-Pro every year and top 5 in MVP voting in 4 of them. His 5 yards per carry is still among the highest in history, but 2 crushing knee injuries in 1968 and 1970 stripped Sayers of his otherworldly talent and graceful running style. Despite his short stint in the league, he was a first-ballot Hall of Famer, exemplifying the highest regard his peers had for his play.
Dave Wilson, an end around reverse, faked, it's faked, and here he goes, George Rogers, he's gonna take it all away for the touchdown.
The 1981 NFL Draft is most notable for Lawrence Taylor going 2nd overall to the Giants, but the lone player picked ahead of him put together quite the career himself. 1980 Heisman winner George Rogers was an instant spark plug for the Saints, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year after a 1,600-yard campaign.
Rogers runs over people, he's still on his feet. George Rogers went coast to coast.
Known for his strength and downhill running style, Rogers was a two-time Pro Bowler and consistently productive throughout his time in New Orleans. 1985 came with a change of scenery as Rogers joined a Washington team on the precipice of winning a Lombardi Trophy.
Rogers will have the first down and more. He'll have a touchdown.
He led the league with 18 rushing touchdowns in 1986 and helped the team win Super Bowl 22 in his final season. Though injuries shortened his career, Rogers rushed for over 7,000 yards and left a legacy as one of the top backs of the 1980s.
Ball and 20, final minute, third quarter. Rip, that may be a fumble. That is a live football. Andre Waters picks it up. Jerome Brown cut through quickly.
There was no player in Philadelphia sports that was a bigger character than Jerome Brown. Coming from the U, this defensive tackle loved to talk to anyone who would listen. The only thing he was better at was shutting down offenses.
The pass is intercepted by Jerome Brown. And the first round draft pick from Miami is picked off a big interception here. Second down and 7, 3 wide receivers, and Aikman goes down.
Accompanied by Reggie White on Buddy Ryan's defense, Brown was a two-time All-Pro. In 1991, the Birds became the 5th team in NFL history to be ranked first in passing, rushing, and total defense.
Police are still trying to piece together the accident that took the life of the Eagles' two-time All-Pro.
Tragedy came in the summer of 1992, where Brown lost his life in a car accident. Despite playing only 5 seasons for the franchise, he remains a legend in the city. With his number 99 jersey retired, Brown's connection with the city is immortal.
Brian Morgan is going to fake it on the run, and he's going to Sean Taylor.
There was no off switch for Sean Taylor. He was decimating punters at the Pro Bowl. Drafted 5th overall by Washington in 2004, the safety made an immediate impact.
Punt from behind by Sean Taylor.
Taylor averaged close to 90 tackles per year from 2004 to 2006. A franchise that struggled the majority of the decade made the playoffs in Taylor's second season. That's when the playmaking DB showcased his talent to national audiences.
First down at the 34, Williams. No place to go. Redskins say the ball is loose and they got it. We haven't heard a whistle yet, and Sean Taylor is gone for the touchdown.
Taylor was in the midst of his second Pro Bowl campaign before tragedy struck. In November of 2007, he was the victim of a home invasion and was shot and killed in the incident. The NFL community mourned the loss of a husband, father, and teammate whose life was taken at just 24 years old.
To me and to his daughter, he was a living hero. He was such an amazing person outside of his career that a lot of people didn't get to see.
Taylor's legacy lives on decades later. One of the most talented safeties to ever step foot on the gridiron, we honor the late, great 21.
Romo on a delay, hands up to Murray. DeMarco Murray going all the way for the touchdown.
That is how NFL fans across the country were introduced to DeMarco Murray. Before Zeke was carrying the rock, Murray was the bell cow for Dallas in the 2010s. Murray was a reliable weapon early, averaging over 1,100 yards from scrimmage in his first 3 seasons. Then it all came together in 2014.
That carry, DeMarco Murray is continuing his assault on the NFL record books. He has joined Jim Brown as the only 2 back to the history of the league to start a season with 6 consecutive 100-yard rushing games.
Murray led the league with 392 carries and over 1,800 rushing yards. He led Dallas to a 12-4 record and won 2014 Offensive Player of the Year. In fact, the Oklahoma product averaged over 1,000 rushing yards per season over his brief career.
And DeMarco Murray breaks free across midfield, and he will take it all the way 75 yards on the first play from scrimmage for the Tennessee Titans.
Murray went on to take snaps for 2 other franchises during his final years in the league, including a 1,200-yard season with Tennessee in 2016. He was out of the NFL after 2017, yet the 3-time Pro Bowler helped establish the running game for any team smart enough to give him the keys to their offense.
The 2000s was a golden era of safeties in the NFL. Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed, and Brian Dawkins headlined, but players like Nick Collins were vital pieces to their defenses too.
Through the hands of Wayne and intercepted. Here comes Green Bay. It's Collins cutting back and now founds open alley for the touchdown.
Collins was a prototypical ball hawk with his best seasons coming from 2008 to 2010, 3 straight Pro Bowls in large part from 17 combined interceptions, and a league-high 3 pick-sixes in 2008. He was a big game player too. Just ask Ben Roethlisberger what happens when you throw his way.
Picked off, Nick Collins. Nick Collins on the return inside the 10, leaps for the touchdown!
Just when Collins reached the top of the football mountain, everything came crashing down 2 games into the 2011 season.
And you see here Collins' head just hits the lower butt of Stewart in an awkward way and kind of tweaks it there.
What seemed to be a routine tackle attempt turned into a career-ending neck injury for the 28-year-old standout, another fantastic career cut short. Overshadowed by other great backs of the decade, Greg Bell quietly was a highly productive player in the 1980s. He rushed for over 1,100 yards as a rookie, earning a Pro Bowl selection. Bell's quickness and vision made long touchdowns like this look routine.
Here's Greg Bell. He breaks a couple of tackles. Greg Bell may go all the way. Touchdown, Buffalo!
Due to contract disputes with the Bills, Bell was off the team by 1987, where he'd enjoy his best years as a Ram. Headlined by Jim Everett and Henry Ellard, the team was one of the most explosive offenses of the late 80s. With Bell now in the mix, LA found balance on the ground.
Greg Bell, look out! Touchdown!
He led the league in rushing touchdowns in both 1988 and 89, and the Rams scored the second most points in the NFL in that stretch. Bell was out of the league after 7 short seasons, but proved to be a scoring machine at his peak.
From the 43 of San Diego, the Chiefs first down and 10. Here's a pitch out of Okoye. There's a block. There's a hole. Okoye breaks it free. Touchdown!
Now for the best nickname in this video, look no further than the Nigerian Nightmare. At 6'1", 253 pounds, there's a reason defenders had trouble sleeping the night before they faced this behemoth.
Look at Okoye! Touchdown!
The Pro Bowler's best year came in 1989, where Christian Okoye paced the league in carries and yards. There was no answer for this bowling ball of a fullback, and yes, we'll be ignoring Steve Atwater for this segment.
Okoye breaking tackles, he's in! Touchdown, Kansas City!
Due to nagging knee injuries in the back half of his career, Okoye hung up his cleats after his 6th season in 1992. His final carry was an 8-yard touchdown rush in Week 17 versus rival Denver. Take that, Steve.
That is a record touchdown. The 40th for Kansas City's Christian Okoye.
The 1960s boasted some serious receiving talent. The AFL's Houston Oilers were blessed by Charley Hennigan's presence. He recorded 1,746 yards in 1961, a record that stood for 34 years. Hennigan was a 5-time AFL All-Star and 2-time champion in just 7 career seasons.
Namath back to throw, maximum protection, deep to Sauer. George has it, 15-yard line down at the 9.
The 1968 Jets are best known for Namath and his guarantee, but he had plenty of help on the outside. In Super Bowl III, George Sauer caught 8 passes for 133 yards. He was an AFL All-Star 4 times and led the league in catches in 1967. Sauer called it a career after 1970, citing a lack of desire to play the game. Another deep cut. Homer Jones was a top threat to go long on any given play, yet his most notable accomplishment was inventing the most common celebration in football, the spike.
Well, I had always said the first touchdown that I ever made, I was going to throw the ball in the stands. I had forgotten that they changed the rules on the off season, that I think it was a $500 fine for throwing the ball in the stands. And as I crossed the goal line, I thought about that $500 and it came down and I threw it on the ground.
Jones's 22.3 career yards per catch is still an NFL record. His best years came from 1966 to 1968, going for over 1,000 in each. His highlight reel catches and spike celebration left an indelible mark on the game.
Sims it is again. 30, 40, 50. Gray trying to catch him. Billy Sims scores!
Taken with the first overall pick in the 1980 draft, Billy Sims became the head attraction for Detroit in the early 80s. He earned Offensive Rookie of the Year honors with over 1,300 rushing yards and continued to excel. Sims' memorable highlights left an everlasting impression on fans.
Cuts upfield, hurdles over a couple of people.
Oh my goodness, did you see that? He hit Steve Brown with what looked like a karate kick.
For as quickly he ascended into stardom did Sims fade into obscurity, retiring after 5 seasons due to a career-ending knee injury. Regardless, from 1980 to 1984, Sims was 4th in yards from scrimmage, trailing only legends like Walter Payton and Tony Dorsett in that span.
Big hole for Hampton. You know, Rodney Hampton nonstop, make sure his feet are in. He's in the end zone, and that's 63 yards.
Giants back Rodney Hampton powered his way through NFL defenses to put together an underrated career. A rookie in New York's Super Bowl 25 win, Hampton took the lead role in 1991 and epitomized consistency. He had 5 straight 1,000-yard campaigns and was top 5 in the league in rushing yards between 1992 and 1995.
To the races. Hampton still on his feet. Rodney Hampton, touchdown Giants.
Like so many great backs, Hampton's knees shortened his career. He still remains near the top among Giants' all-time rushing leaders. When you're the wide receiver drafted before Jerry Rice, it's tough to have a successful career in comparison. Downtown Eddie Brown didn't reach that level of dominance, but nonetheless, he put together a fine 7-year career with the Bengals.
A quick slant by Eddie Brown, and there's one of those short ones that was turned into a big one. And that guy must have felt like a breeze blew by him, because that's all the chance he had, and that breeze was gone.
Brown actually won Offensive Rookie of the Year over Rice and caught at least 40 passes every season of his career. 1988 saw the Bengals reach the Super Bowl, and Brown became the clear-cut #1 receiver. Over 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns, good enough for Pro Bowl honors.
Play action, Boomer keeps the ball all alone down the middle is Eddie Brown. Eddie Brown leads the National Football League in reception yardage, and he didn't hurt it with an 86-yarder right there.
A ruptured disc in his neck ended his career after the 1991 season. However, Brown was a heck of a player in his time and a major contributor to those great Bengals teams.
Blitz, Roethlisberger goes down. Tatupu.
A stud at linebacker from day one, Lofa Tatupu transformed the Seattle defense upon his arrival. The man in the middle earned 3 consecutive Pro Bowl selections to kick off his career and helped lead the team to Super Bowl 40 as a rookie.
Intercepted again, and going all the way to the end zone will be the rookie, Lofa Tatupu.
He was known for his sharp football IQ and playmaking skills in coverage. Tatupu's best season came in 2007, earning first-team All-Pro honors. The majority of his 2009 campaign was spent on IR, and despite playing all 16 games in 2010, Tatupu never played another snap after that season. Despite this, Tatupu's time in the NFL left a lasting impression in Seattle, where he remains a fan favorite.
They got to cash in this 4th and 1. And they go to William Andrews. And they get more than that. They get a touchdown.
Another great runner falling victim to knee injuries. Seems we have a bit of a trend here. William Andrews was a do-it-all back for Atlanta, and from 1979 to 1983, no player in the NFL had more yards from scrimmage.
Look at him go! Andrews is going to score!
Andrews broke the 1,000-yard rushing threshold in 4 of his first 5 seasons and did so while leading the team in catches twice. 1981 was his best, leading the league in yards from scrimmage while hauling in 81 receptions. The 4-time Pro Bowler's career took a hit due to the aforementioned knee injury in 1984, and Atlanta's record immediately tanked to 4-12, a representation of how valuable the rugged back was.
Tyrone Hughes, Mr. Everything. Wow, Mr. Everything. He's gone. And an NFL record 348 yards as a return man in one
The best return ace you've never heard of, Tyrone Hughes, was among New Orleans' most reliable playmakers during his short career. A rookie in 1993, Hughes instantly found his way to the Pro Bowl. That year, he scored a league-best 3 return touchdowns and paced all players in punt return yardage.
And a good return by Hughes, and he has one man to beat and may beat everybody. No flags, touchdown!
Over the next 3 years, Hughes led the NFL in kick return yards, and he set a since-broken single-season yardage record in 1996. But Hughes learned the harsh reality of a return man's shelf life in the NFL. Unable to make a team after his skills took a step back, in his brief 6 seasons, Hughes set a new standard for kick returners.
Wilson just got it away. There's Kuechly. Touchdown, Carolina.
Luke! A Panther legend that needs no introduction, Luke Kuechly is widely regarded as the best off-ball linebacker from the 2010s. Kuechly utilized his superhuman IQ and instincts. He was named to 7 straight Pro Bowls from 2013 to his retirement in 2019. The Saints learned of his greatness firsthand, as Kuechly's 24 tackles against them in 2013 is tied for the most ever unofficially.
Luke Kuechly, 24 tackles and interception. Wherever the ball was, that's where you could find number 59.
From 2013 to 2015, Carolina was top 3 in points allowed, and Kuechly's play was at the middle of it. Their Super Bowl trip in 2015 would not have been made possible without a defense that forced more turnovers than any other team.
He's picked again. Kuechly for the touchdown.
After 8 Hall of Fame-level seasons, Kuechly retired seemingly at the top of his game following the 2019 season.
Thought about it for a long time, and I think now is opportunity for me to step away.
Despite the brevity of his career, he is still likely to have his name called to Canton in the coming years.
Oh, what a hit. Look out. Brad Smith, my goodness.
From one legendary linebacker to another, Patrick Willis instilled fear into opponents from his first snap with the 49ers. Maybe the last of the old-school linebackers, Willis was a first-team All-Pro in 5 of his first 6 seasons. Dominance right out of the gate.
Willis, 6!
He was the heartbeat of a 49er team that won nearly 70% of their games during his final 4 seasons, which included a trip to Super Bowl 47.
Hell yeah!
Willis led by example, combining sideline-to-sideline speed with hard-hitting physicality.
The game is going to end at some point, and so I told myself, when the time comes, I no longer can give my teammates, this city, the fans, the organization, the best of me, then I'll step away from the game and I'll let someone else feed their family, and I'll go figure out the next phase of life.
Those injuries led to his early retirement in 2015. He was elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2024.
Again, Bowman blitzes. Bradford. And they're going to get to him back at the 36-yard line. And guess who it was? Number 53.
Willis's partner in crime deserves a shout-out as well. NaVorro Bowman was an icon for those 49er teams of the 2010s. An All-Pro by year 2, this physical force was a key contributor to a San Francisco defense that allowed the fewest points in the NFL from 2011 to 2013. His signature moment came in the final game at Candlestick Park, with the team needing a win to clinch a playoff berth. Cue up the pick at the stick.
And it's in the hands of Bowman, who's got all green grass. Gonna take the Niners to the playoffs.
After tearing his ACL in the 2013 playoffs, Bowman came back better than ever in 2015, putting together an All-Pro season. After another trip to the IR in 2016, his career was coming to a halt. Bowman played his final NFL snaps in 2017 at the age of 29. When discussing the Vikings teams of the late 90s, images conjure up of Randy Moss and Chris Carter burning defenders for long touchdowns, but you don't become one of the greatest offenses ever by being one-dimensional. Enter Robert Smith.
Smith has running room, and down the sideline, Robert Smith is going to score.
A late bloomer, the former first-round pick never started more than 7 games in his first 4 years with the team, but he broke out in 1997, reaching 1,000 rushing yards in each of the next 4 seasons.
Look out, here he goes. There's Robert Smith. He might go the distance.
Robert Smith is a world-class sprinter, a track runner at Ohio State.
His best season actually came in his last, where Smith gained over 1,800 yards from scrimmage and 10 touchdowns before calling it a career due to lingering knee issues. While overlooked compared to his more flashy teammates, Minnesota's offense relied on him to be at his best to win.
Anderson to Collinsworth, and right against the sidelines, Collinsworth caught it and went in for the touchdown and made that one look easy.
Now, here's a guy that had a great short career with Cincinnati. Yes, before he had his signature catchphrase in the broadcast booth, Cris Collinsworth put together a successful career with the Bengals. He was more than just a reliable option, but a 3-time Pro Bowler during his time in the Queen City.
Boomer goes back to throw, goes long this time for Collinsworth. He has a touchdown!
In 8 seasons, Collinsworth had 4 1,000-yard campaigns. As a rookie, he paced the AFC champion Bengals in receiving yards, including a 107-yard outing in Super Bowl 16. 1988 was Collinsworth's last, ailing from ankle and knee injuries. It started just like it ended, losing a Super Bowl at the hands of Joe Montana.
Give to Warner. Curt Warner turns on the afterburners. Gets it down to the 10, to 5, angling in. Touchdown Seahawks on the run by Warner.
No, not that Curt Warner. The original resided in Seattle, coming out of the gates firing. Over 1,400 rushing yards and 14 total touchdowns as a rookie, Seattle rode the back all the way to the AFC Championship, but yet again, Warner joined the club of backs with knee issues, tearing his ACL in the first game of the following season. Unlike some of the others, he did make a recovery and continued to produce.
Here's the toss to Warner from the 40-yard line, takes off over left guard to the 45 to the 50, breaks into the secondary. One man to beat, and he beats him. He's on his way. Goodbye, Denver. Touchdown, Seahawks. Curt Warner.
Warner made back-to-back Pro Bowls in 1986 and 1987 and broke 1,000 yards 3 times after his 1984 injury. He eventually retired at the age of 29, leaving many to ponder his career totals if he didn't blow out his knee so early in his career.
On 4th and goal, it's Tolbert. Tolbert is stopped. Jerod Mayo.
Before coaching the Patriots for a season, Jerod Mayo was the unquestioned leader of a Patriots defense over an 8-year career. A combination of intelligence and a non-stop motor, Mayo made his mark in New England when he was healthy.
That is picked off. Jerod Mayo with a beautiful play on the interception.
He won Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2008 and earned an All-Pro nod in 2010 with a league-high 174 tackles. Mayo served as the team's defensive captain, with New England ranking in the top 5 in points allowed during his entire career. Sadly, a rash of injuries on the knee and chest led the linebacker to eventually leave the game before age 30.
The wide receiver from Arizona State was 78's number 1 draft pick, and was blessed with a kind of body control and agility that no coach could teach.
If you don't know John Jefferson, let his acrobatic catches speak for themselves. A stalwart in the Air Coryell offense, Jefferson was one of the most electrifying weapons in pro football as a rookie. No wideout caught more touchdowns than Jefferson from 1978 to 1980, his first 3 seasons in the NFL.
Bounces back, lobs one for Jefferson going to the end zone, and it is a touchdown, San Diego!
Despite being a sensation in San Diego, Jefferson was traded to the Packers in 1981 and failed to reach the same heights. He never crossed the 1,000-yard threshold anywhere else and retired after a forgettable end to his career.
Snap and a shotgun, pressure, Brooks is going to be hit and tries to throw the ball away. He did, he threw it right to Al Wilson, and that is a Bronco touchdown.
Al Wilson had a standout, though relatively short NFL career as the heart of the Broncos defense from 1999 to 2006. A first-round pick out of Tennessee, Wilson established himself as a fierce and dependable middle linebacker. He earned 5 Pro Bowl selections and was known for his leadership, toughness, and ability to lay the boom.
Oh, what a shot by Al Wilson! Holy cow!
And he stopped him in midair.
Wilson anchored the Broncos defense during several playoff runs and was widely respected for his intensity and work ethic. A neck injury forced his early retirement, but his impact on the field and in the locker room remains a lasting part of Denver's defensive legacy. We can't leave without mentioning Megatron, though he did play a 9-year career until age 30. Much like Barry Sanders, this Detroit legend left the game at the top of his game. A first ballot trip to Canton awaited, and we're still watching his highlights in awe today.
Throw into the end zone, wants Calvin, well covered. He goes up, he makes the catch. Are you kidding me? Oh, Megatron, you did it again. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.